If you're looking for the best survival knives, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preferences, sorted based on the features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Gerber LMF Roman II. The Gerber LMF Roman II is the direct answer Gerber had to military survival specialists that specially requested that Gerber design a purpose-built Army pilot's knife specifically for the scenario the intro of this guide detailed. The LMF Roman II was to be carried by a pilot and used in the off chance they are shot down and needed to survive behind enemy lines. The letter request read as a knife to deploy and con the quick egress of a downed helicopter. The knife needed to be extremely lightweight, quick to deploy, as versatile as possible, and tough enough to bet your life on it. The LMF Roman II is actually one of my favorite knives around the $100 price point. No, it doesn't come with a super steel blade, but that 420 steel, 58 HRC is plenty strong and durable, and with the reinforced butt pommel, you could just as easily bust out the plexiglass in a downed helicopter or bust a skull, or I suppose, both. A final note here is that the handle is designed in a way that protects the user from electric shock, and the blade and handle are electrically isolated from the pommel. This knife also has lashing holes that allow it to easily be turned into a spear, which is a nice feature for survival applications. Overall, I would say this is the best survival knife under $100. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Gerber Strong Arm. The Gerber Strong Arm is the cheaper of the two against the LMF, and although I would always recommend the LMF Roman II for survival purposes, the Strong Arm certainly is no slouch. The Strong Arm is made of the same super hard 420 steel that the LMF is made of, and it's sold along with a similar molded sheath. So, how does it differ? Well, it's shorter, a whopping 0.75 inches shorter. It's about 4 ounces lighter. It has a glass pommel on the butt, but here is where things become contrasting. The LMF has a significantly better pommel. However, the Strong Arm still has one, and it is still very much usable for most people. The Strong Arm isn't electrically isolated like the LMF, but it does come with a very ergonomic feeling GRN handle that is actually one of my favorite grips. The Strong Arm is often overlooked against the LMF, but for the price, the two knives are fairly similar and have slightly different features, so which is best for you really just comes down to personal preference. Furthermore, the Strong Arm is in that premium Gerber category, meaning it's designed and manufactured right here in Portland, Oregon, and performs vastly better than the rest of the lower-tier Gerber products across all categories. The Strong Arm is very well balanced, and its attributes are well suited for a survival knife. The number 3 position is held by ESEE Knives 4 or 6. ESEE makes a lot of great knives, but it's no secret that the 4 is the pinnacle of their offering and is by far one of the most popular ESEE knife ever made. These are so sought after that they are often bought in bulk for survival in combat schools and given to the students as they learn the skills they need to survive. 1095 carbon stainless steel isn't particularly known as great steel in any one category, but it is well-rounded, which I'd argue makes it especially good as a survival knife. The ESEE 4 really feels to be designed to be the most versatile a knife of 4.5 inches can be, and I think that's why so many people really like it. There are no gimmicks, no style points, no fancy additions. Just a knife that is exceptionally well built with a very good reputation of having solid quality control. Next, at number 4 we have Benchmade Bushcrafter 162. Sheen Cyber designed both the Benchmade Bushcrafter and the Benchmade Adamas, and boy oh boy was he right on the money. I suppose someone who is well known as a top-tier blade craftsman and an avid outdoorsman would know exactly what we need when it comes to a survival knife, and I really think the Bushcrafter 162 embodies just that. The 4.40-inch drop point you get here consists of CPM's third of steel, which, in my opinion, is one of the absolute best steels you can currently buy and fits perfectly with the survival performance we're looking for. This steel embodies exceptional edge retention so that you can abuse it over and over again and still be able to rely on your Bushcrafter maintaining a razor-sharp cutting edge. With a hardness rating of 60 HRC, you get the perfect balance of strength without the blade ever being close to being too hard, causing brittleness. Now, typically blades made out of steel that are relatively hard and have exceptional edge retention have to give up a bit of corrosion resistance, but that's the beauty of CPM's 30. You get all the best attributes from a super hard steel with top-tier resistance to corrosion. CPM's 30 really has earned its rightful place in the super steels category, and despite the Bushcrafter being over $200, I'd say the reliability and longevity of this knife are well worth it. If you choose something cheaper, You'll have to buy that option several times before you'd ever have to replace the Benchmade Bushcrafter. The number 5 position is held by Glock Perfection Field Knife. Now, this isn't the best knife on this list, but it might just be one of the best bangs for your buck. We all know Glock, and whether you love or hate their firearms, I think most people would agree that $40 for a 6.5-inch ESEE 1095 steel clip point blade with a soft serrated spine and a very ergonomic polymer handle is a pretty good deal. These blades and the steel they are made out of are among the softest on this list. This has a few advantages such as being extremely easy to resharpen and work with as a beginner or someone who simply doesn't have the time to sit down and finally sharpen something harder. Spring steel is notorious for its resistance to impact, and it has a low flex, meaning it might give a bit where a harder steel would simply shatter. The only real con I see here, and probably why this knife is so low cost, is that ESEE 1095 has very low resistance to corrosion. At $40, this is the kind of knife you buy and abuse heavily for just a few years and then you replace it. It won't last you a long time, but while you do have it, it'll be a pretty solid knife, and I'd argue that as long as you keep it dry and especially away from salt water, it should serve you quite well. Glock field knives are excellent gifts for someone that is new to owning a knife of this size and caliber and is interested in getting something mid-tier to try out and experience before they pull the trigger on a 3-figure blade. The number 6 position is dominated by Cold Steel Drop Forged Survivalist. I'll start right off by saying that this knife is an absolute steel piece of steel at this price, and if you're looking for a purpose-built survival tool under $100, this is an excellent choice. This was designed to be a large, fat, heavy, down and dirty survival tool, and everything about it exudes the idea of versatility and durability first. These knives are ready to be heavily abused right out of the box, and if you find yourself astray on an uncharted island somewhere, this is the knife you're going to wish you had. These things are heavy. At over 18 ounces, the Cold Steel Survivalist is the largest of their monolithic lineup, and making up that weight is a huge 8-inch blade that is far thicker than what you'd find in the average blade. That extra blade thickness is there for extra rigidity when using this knife as an axe. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Foliven Aeon. Foliven is one of Sweden's premier knife manufacturers, and the Aeon has been seen in many survival shows and boasted about by some of my favorite outdoorsmen. I get it, these knives are beautifully designed with a simplistic and utilitarian flavor that exudes craftsmanship and quality. At close to $200, though, I was skeptical. That is until I realized who this is for. The Fallkniven Aeon is constructed of laminated VG10 steel. This particular steel is rather soft, 59 HRC compared to some other premier tier steels, but it has one major advantage: it's extremely resistant to corrosion, and when laminated, it's almost just as durable as significantly harder and more expensive steels. Fallkniven has taken a base material that they know will stand the test of time and weathering, and they made it insanely thick, and insanely strong. The Fallkniven Aeon is for the avid outdoorsman looking to make a buy once, cry once purchase. Yeah, they are among the priciest survival knives on this list, but they sure are worth it if you plan on putting your survival knife through the ringer day in and day out. If you're looking for the best survival knife under $200, this should be a top consideration. Buy this knife, and it's very likely you'll never need to buy another survival knife again. The number 8 position is held by SOG Seal Pup Elite Survival. SOG is an American knife and multi-tool manufacturer that makes blades that are currently being used by elite operators in the military. They have gotten a little flack for having most of their knives made in Taiwan instead of the US, and although we love ourselves some good old-fashioned American-made goods, the truth is that Taiwan has some of the best CNC and blade manufacturing facilities in the world. On top of that, they are capable of offering very high-quality knives at extremely competitive prices, meaning you get quality products for a price that won't break the bank. The Seal Pup comes with either a 4.75 or 4.85-inch blade constructed from ozate that is cryogenically treated to achieve a much higher hardness level that ozate typically encompasses. Now, ozate isn't a particularly notable steel on its own, but when the hardness is raised significantly, you get a steel that is capable of holding an edge and having the overall durability of a steel that is much more expensive. Again, cost-cutting, but cost-cutting done the right way that only benefits you. Next at number 9 we have Benchmade Puukko 200. Benchmade makes a knife for just about every situation, and we here at Marine Approved love Benchmade's product so much that we actually make an entire list of our favorite Benchmade knives that you can find here. The Benchmade Puukko is a purpose-built Scandinavian-inspired badass whose design does not reflect ominous destruction but more so humble versatility. Consisting of CPM3, arguably one of the highest quality premium steels of any knife on this list, the knife is exceptionally well-rounded. It has far above average resistance to corrosion while being very hard and razor sharp. These are some of the most durable blades that can withstand heavy usage without chipping that super sharp edge, which makes this one extremely durable and reliable knife to have on hand during a survival situation. The handle is rubberized sandpaprene, which I was a bit wary of at first, but under no circumstances, even when using it submerged in water, is the grip anything less than superb and solid. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Benchmade Adamas 375. Benchmade usually sticks to a full utilitarian and or simplistic modern design scheme, so when I took my first look at the Adamas, I was quite surprised to see such an ominous-looking purpose-built monstrosity offered by them. Needless to say, it was love at first sight. The Adamas is a 9-inch full-tang beast that is raw in nature but still utilitarian at heart. You'll probably notice first the sawtooth spine, and unlike many knives that come with this feature, these are actually very handy in cutting a wide variety of materials. The sheath that comes with this bad boy is a molded ABS mall-compatible sheath that is easily carried on the belt during a long trek, slapped onto a mall-compatible backpack, or stuck to your mall-compatible chest rig to ride into combat with. That's all for today. We upload outdoor product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.